Hello, St John's Primary. It's been a long time since you've been out to a library, or that anyone from the library has been out to see you. So, what we've done is we've put together a video that's a tour of the library, how it all works, how you use the library. Got some other stuff thrown in there too. Maybe a wee story, maybe a song, who knows. Anyway, I hope that you enjoy it. My name is Dave, and I'm the Children's Assistant for Hamilton Townhouse Library, Hill House as well. Right, well, let's get started. To kick things off, we're going to jump to a music video. Yeah, a music video to remind you all that the library is open.
Now the library is open and we've missed you all this while. So now we're kind of hoping that you come and read and smile. At our storybooks, fact books, skinny books, fat books, picture books and poetry books too. All our comic books, talking books, wacky books and shocking books, all books are waiting here for you. Now the library is open for today and for tomorrow, 'cause we know that you weren't coping without all these books to borrow. All our cookbooks, time books, funny books and slime books, spooky books and scary books too. All our board books, story books, even grim and gory books, yeah, all these books are waiting here for you. If you just need an answer, then we have all the patter
and plenty of hand sanitizer too. So now the library is open, why not pop by today? In addition, it's worth noting, we're open Monday to Saturday. For boring art books, chat books, self-help books and dark books, healthy books and politics books too. Biography, geography, books of cool photography, the whole library's waiting here for you. Oh yes, the whole library's waiting here for you.
Well, now we know that the library is open, let's take a look at it. This is Hamilton Townhouse Library, and it's a very old building. It's 114 years old, and it was opened and funded by wealthy industrialist Andrew Carnegie. Here's Mr. Carnegie here. He's a very serious guy. Hey, Mr. Carnegie, why are libraries the tallest buildings in the world? Yeah? Because they've got lots of stories. Right, let's take a look inside. The townhouse is more than just a library though. On the other side of the building we have the venue, which is a big theatre stage where people can come to see things like pantomimes. As well as to come and see shows, some people come to the building to get married. But we're going to be focusing on the library for now. Come on inside. Right, let's get up these stairs. Careful now. It's an automatic door, so it should open for us. Yeah. Inside we go. This is the main reception. We're going to take a right, and here we are at the library. We're just going to pop through these doors, down these stairs, and through the grown-up section of the library. We'll take a look at this later. On the right-hand side is the main lending desk where the library assistants are. Oh, more stairs. Let's go down them. And we've made it. Look, here's where I am. This is the children's desk. Oh, and there's me. Hi everyone, my name's Dave. Great to see you. So you want to join the library? This is what it looks like. This is an application for library membership. And basically, all you have to do is to get your big person to help you fill in all these details, and you'll end up with your very own library card. Let's take a look around the children's section. It's quite a big space. In fact, it might be one of the biggest children's sections in libraries in all of South Lanarkshire. You might be wondering what the difference is between fiction and non-fiction. Almost all of the books here in the library are split up between those two different types. So, to make it nice and easy, non-fiction, like this, Atlas, is a book filled with facts and information. This book has got lots of information about countries all around the world, the different people, the way it looks, what we do over there. Facts and information, all inside the atlas. So that's an example of non-fiction. So what's an example of fiction? Well, there we are. Here we've got Pirate Pug. Pirate Pug, the dog who robbed the boat. So this is a storybook, which means that someone, a very clever person somewhere, came up with a story. You probably tell stories too, or you've written stories and created stories in school or at home. It's the same idea here. So this is a work of imagination. That means that someone has made up these stories inside here. So they come in lots of different formats, and we have books that are for people who are beginning to read, books for people who are enthusiastic about reading, and books for people who really love to read. Pirate Pug is a very funny one, and I highly recommend it. The books in the lending section for kids are arranged into different categories. We have our easy read collections, beginning to read, our stories, as we move along the shelves, the books start to get bigger and bigger with more chapters and more words. There's a lot to choose from. We've also got books for teenagers and for young adults. This is where we display all the brand new books that come in so that people can see them and take them out as soon as they get into the library. It's part of my job to make sure these books are visible and displayed nicely. This is our non-fiction section. This is where you're going to find all of our factual and information books about all sorts of topics, and it's arranged by the Dewey Decimal System. Just like in school when you're learning about topics, this entire section is filled with books about everything you can imagine, from the natural world, to how the human body works, to inventions and history. What about countries from all around the world? It's all here. Do you need a cookbook? We've got that too. The largest section of books in the non-fiction range is the 900s. That's for history. There's been a lot of it, so that's why there's a lot of books. It covers lots of shelves, and you'll find history of the entire world just waiting for you to come and grab a book and learn. If you want to know about it, there's definitely going to be a book here for you. Sometimes books are too big to fit on normal shelves. We call them oversized, and they are normally fantastic, great big books with awesome illustrations, and they live here. This is where we keep our encyclopedia and special collections, and exam past papers to help people study at high school. This is a small reference section of books that don't leave the library but are here for you to study. Hi guys, this is the nursery section of the library. It's got its own little cosy nook in the back of the children's library section. And it's lovely. We have got lots of colour in here. It makes it a very warm, friendly and inviting place for you to read a book. Come on and we'll take a wee look. The nursery section of the library has a big main feature, and it's our lovely mural wall. It's completely hand-painted and covered with characters from beloved children's fiction books. See if you can spot anyone that you recognise. We have beanbags, teddy bears, cushions, and boxes filled with picture books. There's also board books for babies. Part of my job in the library is to make sure that there's always some lovely big displays on the walls. Here's one that welcomes everyone back to the library and shines a spotlight on our eco-friendly books. Here's another one of our murals. It's hand-painted again. I had a great time doing this one. This one is of BookBug with a great big rainbow behind him. And we use this shelf to house all of our healthy reading collection books, which are books about our thoughts and our feelings and how to deal with them. We have a massive range of books for you to enjoy. In the fiction section, our books are divided up roughly by reading age. Though there's not really such a thing as reading age because everyone's completely different and we all like different kinds of books. I'll give you an example. We have baby board books for babies, which are filled with pictures, colours and patterns that are designed specifically to help babies start to learn about the world. We've got a lot of those. We have picture books. These are fantastic. They're not just for little kids either. Picture books contain stories, usually amazing stories, filled with fantastic illustrations. This one's called There's No Such Thing as a Schnapperboop. Weird name. Okay, look. Here we have what's called an early reader or a quick read. These are for people who are just beginning to read and enjoy something a little bit quicker. Maybe they've not got much time. Maybe they're a very busy person. But that's what quick reads are for. Then we make our way to chapter books. You might recognise Leo Colfer's Fowl Twins from the Artemis Fowl series. Here we are. Then, up at the other end of the scale, we have these books here for teenagers and young adults. So these books are primarily in content designed for people who are maybe at starting high school. Though some of you, primary 6 or 7, may have already started reading these. There's plenty to choose from.
Now that you've got your library ticket, you want to take a book out? Not a bother. Here we are. First off, your library assistant will scan the book for you. And then put a date stamp on the book, reminding you when you need to bring it back. Here you go. Enjoy.
Once you've got your book out and stamped at the library, here it is here. You get to keep this book for 4 weeks. That's a whole month to read a book. Well, not just one book. If you're a small person, then you can get up to 6 books on your ticket. And if you're a bit older, you can get up to 12 books. That's a lot of books. I know some of you out there love reading so much that that's a daunting. Right, well, if you were to come to the end of your 4 weeks and you still hadn't quite finished a couple of those books, all you would need to do would be to get your big person to ring the library, give us a call, or to visit the library and to tell us we need a renewal. Do you know what renewal means? Think of it later. Did you guess right? Renewal means that you want that book out for another 4 weeks. And that's the great part about the library. You get to use these books for free, goose book. Or you end up really busy and you don't have time to spend reading it as much as you'd like. Well, maybe it's going to take you longer than those 4 weeks to finish the book. That's where renewal comes in. You just say to us, hey, can I have this book out for a bit longer? And we'll say, sure. We'll put another stamp on the book, change the record on the computer, and it's yours for another month. That sounds like a pretty good deal for a free library ticket. Yeah. A big part of a children's assistant's job is running book bug sessions. You might remember going to these when you were little, or you might have brothers and sisters who are little and we go to book bug. So book bug, hang on, let's find it. Oh, there we are. Here's book bug here. Book bug is run by the Scottish Book Trust, and basically it helps people like me, the library assistant, run sessions for songs and rhymes and stories for children as young as a couple of weeks old, all the way up to primary school. And every week we run lots of these sessions all around South Lanarkshire, so that mums and dads, carers and grandparents can come together with their kids, their little ones, and the people that they look after, and have a great time together singing songs, doing traditional nursery rhymes, and reading stories. It's a big part of my job here, and I know Book Bug is a big fan. So, do you remember Book Bug? Do you have family who go to Book Bug? Think how I think about that.
As well as having lots of great books to read, it's important for a children's section to have a space for activities and for kids to sit and relax. We've got all this lovely brand new furniture at Hamilton Townhouse. We have this stop and study section for children who want to spend some time doing homework or studying or just relaxing. Now we're going to look at the adult section of the library. It's massive. Again, it's one of the biggest libraries in South Lanarkshire and we have loads of books here. These are all talking books or CDs for people who want to listen to a book rather than read them. There are so many books that they can't all fit on the shelves, so we have to use the spinners again. Let's go for a little quick walk around the whole of this side of the library. I don't think I could even count how many books there are here. Another thing that the library does is it offers copying and printing services to people who want to come in. One of the most important jobs of the library is to have lots of comfy seats around so that people can sit down, relax and read a book. Let's go up the stairs and take a look up here. Look at that fantastic stained glass window. This is the active IT section where we have all of our computers for public access. Any member of the library can come in and use the computer to go online, look at their emails or print stuff out. Here's a fantastic view of the reference section of the library. It's a very old and fancy room filled with books that never leave the library. They're just here for people to study. It's called the Carnegie Room. Let's take a look around. There are books here on all sorts of subjects, just like in the non-fiction section, except sometimes these books can be very old and valuable, so they have to stay in the library. This part of the library also doubles up as a sort of museum with books from the past. We have special information library assistants who look after this part of the library and can help people find information from the past that they're looking for. This is a ticket from the opening of the building all the way back 114 years ago. And here's the signature of Andrew Carnegie himself, the man who helped fund and open this library. Here are some of the very first ever library tickets that were made. They look very different to what we use now. And here's a newspaper article talking about the first 75 years of Hamilton Townhouse Library. The reference and local history section has also been donated lots of things for people to look at. Here's a pick head from a miner's pick. Here's some actual coal taken from an old coal mine local to the area. And that lamp would have been used to light the way in tiny passages hundreds of metres down below the ground. Here's a group photograph of people who used to work in the mine. There are also photographs stored at Townhouse. Here's one from when the Queen and Prince Philip visited. You can see how happy everyone was to see them. Here's something you might not have seen before. These are microfilm readers, and these are very special machines that are designed to allow us to look at something called microfilm, which is a way of storing information and images, sometimes from a very long time ago. Here's one of our information library assistants working the microfilm reader. Right now she's going through very old copies of the Hamilton Advertiser and other records. A big part of this side of the library is the archives, where we keep lots of old documents and things like copies of local newspapers. Inside the back rooms is where we find our really old stuff. This funny looking box is called a card index, and it's a way for our information library assistants to organise things and find out where things are. This is actually how people used to access the library long time ago. There was no computers then. All of these cards are hand typed with a typewriter. And this is where we store all of the maps. They're kept in special trays, completely flat, with air conditioning above, so that they can last for as long as possible. Some of these maps are printed straight onto wood. Look at the date on some of these books. You're right, that actually says 1735. Some of these books are almost 400 years old. Our library information assistants are trained on how to handle all of these old books without damaging them and making sure that they last as long as possible. There's so much information to be found in here. It would take years to go through all of it. It's a bit like a museum, but for books and records. Well, now you've seen all the Townhouse Library, I really hope you enjoyed the tour. It's been great to show you around, and hopefully at some point soon you can all come down for a visit. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye bye!